A mysterious death of a teenager in his own yard. Why did a healthy boy suddenly pass away? And what does his mother have to do with it? Don't miss out. A shocking revelation is waiting for the psychics. Welcome to Psychic Investigations, a project of true and astonishing stories. Here, people who call themselves clairvoyants investigate resonant criminal cases and unbelievable paranormal phenomena. Yuri was only 13. He lived in a small Ukrainian settlement, loved sports, dreamed of traveling, and wanted to become a policeman to protect the vulnerable. He had two sisters, 25-year-old Hanna and Lyuba, who is 27. Both are married and live separately.
I had a wonderful son. He would always hug me when he came home from school. At bedtime, he'd kiss his dad goodnight. The house feels completely empty now. I can't help looking at the door, expecting him to come in.
This is the last photo of Yuri, taken just hours before his death. In it, he's cheerful and smiling as always.
His teacher told me he was lively and happy. They took a class photo during the last lesson.
We took a picture and went home. We were planning to go to the stadium to play football, but we didn't.
Everything happened in this backyard. Yuri came home from school, greeted his sister Hanna, who was visiting, and suggested they have some tea together.
He said, "Hanna, let's have some tea." I agreed. He made the tea himself. We talked and joked.
After what would be his final cup of tea, Yuri asked his mom for permission to go play football with his friends. He took the keys to the scooter he loved riding around the village, and just half an hour later, his elder sister, Lyuba, who had also stopped by to visit, found Yuri lying lifeless by the doghouse.
I walked over and started shaking him. He didn't react. I ran inside to wake up Mom, who had dozed off.
Lyuba's scream sent Yuri's mother running outside.
I ran to the spot where my son was lying. His eyes were slightly open. I fell to my knees, started sobbing. I closed his eyes. I kept screaming, but I don't remember much.
We were shaking him. My husband came running and did the same. For a split second, his lips turned pink again, and his eyes opened. But it lasted just a moment. A few blinks, and then nothing. He showed no signs of life.
I ran over too. When I saw him lying there, I can't. I don't know. This is unbearable. I don't know how I'm supposed to live on.
The family immediately called an ambulance. While waiting, they and the neighbors tried to revive Yuri, rubbing his hands and doing chest compressions and mouth-to-mouth.
The people gathered, and they took me aside.
Sadly, the medics were too late to save the boy.
As soon as they walked in, they said right away he was dead.
According to the autopsy conducted the following morning, it was sudden death with acute signs of organ congestion.
The forensic examination found vascular congestion in Yuri's internal organs. This can occur when venous blood flow is disrupted, for instance, when veins are compressed or blocked, which is common in mechanical asphyxiation. However, in Yuri's case, none of those signs were present.
Doctors couldn't identify what caused the blood flow disruption in the boy's body. They classified it as sudden death syndrome.
In the final report, they wrote it was infant syndrome.
For a 13-year-old to be diagnosed with something like this, I've never seen that in my medical career.
The family insists Yuri never complained about his health. Just months before his death, he passed a full medical exam. The doctors found no issues.
There was a full exam in August. They examined him thoroughly. Everything was fine. And in September, he died suddenly. Nobody knows why.
Besides, Yuri was active in sports and was planning to apply to a military academy.
He never got sick. From early childhood, he was a strong, resilient boy.
Push-ups, jumping, football tug of war. He could do 60 sit-ups in under a minute.
So why did a healthy, athletic boy suddenly die? His friends and family don't believe it was an accident and find his death way too strange and inexplicable. As such, they suspect that something mystical may be involved.
You know, there's no explanation whatsoever for this. We're all shocked. How come? He was fine and never had issues, always full of energy. I honestly don't know what happened.
It's like some kind of unnatural phenomenon. A person doesn't just collapse and die for no reason.
To find the truth about her son's death, Alina turned to clairvoyant Valentina Lichahina.
When I tune into his photo, I see the boy being struck on the head. The blow is so strong that he falls and never gets up.
But what does this mean? According to the family, no one saw what happened, and nobody knows whether anyone else was in the yard at the time.
It wasn't fully dark, but the moon was already huge and bright. I see crosses and graves around. The air is so cold, piercingly cold. It gives me chills. Suddenly, someone leaps out from the bushes. They grab something from a grave and tears it with their teeth. I can't make out the figure, but I saw their eyes. They were wild and angry like a wolf's.
Who is the clairvoyant seeing? Could it really be Yuri himself? Joining Valentina Lichahina on this investigation is clairvoyant Jana Shulikova.
I see his life being ripped from him, as if this innocent boy's soul was taken as payment for someone else's sins.
What does this mean? Was magic really involved in the teenager's death?
When I worked with his photo, I saw something awful. I had a vision of 3 women standing in an open field. Suddenly, one of them struggled to breathe and started gasping. I wanted to see her face. And can you guess who I saw myself? That's when I realized it had been magic and it was a challenge aimed directly at me. Someone, or something, is threatening me. And it's somehow connected to the boy's death. I've packed my things and I'm ready to start the investigation right now.
We filmed the episode in winter, when the temperature dropped to minus 30 degrees centigrade. Yet when the clairvoyants arrived, many villagers had gathered despite the frost. None of them believed the boy's death was just a coincidence.
We're still shocked. He was such a lively kid. We never imagined something like this could happen.
He was absolutely fine. No problems at all, and then just like that, he's dead. We're at a loss.
Hello.
Hello, I'm Helena.
I'm Jana.
My son died in September. My heart still hurts. I'm crying all the time, and I can't sleep. I just want to know why this happened to my boy. It was such a mysterious death. He was cheerful, energetic, and athletic. He came home that day in such a good mood, and the next moment he was gone.
May I enter the yard?
Of course.
Oh God. The death, it happened right here. You should have told. Right in the yard, like someone hit me over the head with a hammer. My vision darkened. Oh gosh. My head is burning up. It's like someone struck the boy on the head and he just collapsed here.
Jana precisely identified the spot where the boy died. Could someone have been waiting for him in the yard?
I don't see signs of visible trauma. No beatings, no evidence that someone physically attacked him.
The forensic examination revealed no external signs of a violent death.
The forensic report found no injuries or bruises on Yuri's body, nor any organ damage that would result from blunt force trauma.
But Jana said she felt a blow to the head. Could she have been wrong?
I feel like someone's watching.
It's like someone's watching us.
Exactly, watching it.
And the gaze is full of hatred.
But who could possibly harbor such hatred toward 13-year-old Yuri to wish him dead?
Did he have his own room?
Maybe you should go inside. I won't enter the house. I'm already not feeling well out here. If I go in, it'll overwhelm me completely. I'll stay here, at the place where the boy died.
For nearly an hour, the clairvoyants worked in silence. What did they sense? What was the true cause of the boy's death?
He loved sports.
Yes.
I see him running. Here are his certificates.
It's been almost a year since Yuri's death, but his room remains untouched. The certificates and medals are the awards he brought home from sports camps, where he trained during school breaks. Yuri always placed first in competitions.
What I saw in the house terrified me. I had to share it with Jana. It was like some group of boys and explosions.
Yes. I saw it too, and it scared me. There were weapons, chaos. It felt like a war, like they were chasing each other. It was like a battlefield.
That would be his military-style sports camp. They'd march, train in teams. They'd run drills, just like Army prep. He attended the camp last year and the year before.
During his school breaks, Yuri attended a military sports camp in a nearby town. This is where his most recent awards are from.
I sensed the boy was living life in fast forward, if he wanted to try everything as quickly as possible.
He always pushed himself to the limit, trying to always be first. He'd come home and say, "Mom, I did this many pull-ups," or "I did more push-ups than anyone today."
So what really happened to Yuri? Could the answer be disturbingly close? When they entered the yard, the psychics had a feeling of someone watching them.
I get the sense that children on this street are cursed, as if they're not allowed to play outside.
An elderly woman who lives nearby did it.
Helena knew instantly they meant one of her neighbors, but she was afraid to speak her name. Everyone in the village calls the woman a witch, avoids her, and keeps their distance.
People say she's dangerous, that she's involved in dark practices. They say she uses black magic.
From the moment Yuri died, the family suspected that the woman had something to do with it. For reasons unknown, she had always seemed to resent the boy.
I do suspect her because I've heard from the rumors that she practiced black magic.
Once, after a quarrel with the neighbor, Yuri and his older sister, Hannah, went up to the attic to sort through old things, and were stunned by what they found there.
There was a rotten egg wrapped in cloth, right there under the eaves, close to the roof.
The family believes the malicious neighbor planted the egg, and that it was some kind of magic. Could this truly be connected to Yuri's sudden and mysterious death?
I feel energies coming from over there. Let's go see.
Let's go. Does anyone live there?
Let's go in and...
Here's the elderly woman.
This house here.
Will the psychics have a chance to speak to her? And what will they find?
She has dogs. I doubt you'll get her to come out.
Hello, anyone home?
Honestly, I don't want to go near her. Her name's Liuda.
Hello?
As the psychics tried to call out to Liuda, Helena began inching further and further away. She was so afraid, she wouldn't even approach the gate. 10 minutes passed, but no one answered.
She's not even home, and I'm not feeling any magical energy from the property. She's just a cranky old woman. I don't sense anything dark. In fact, it feels like she resents everyone and treats her kin and strangers alike.
That's true, she doesn't even speak to her own son.
Not even to her own child?
The psychics are right. It's true. She doesn't talk to her own children. Her son lives just down the street with his kids. But they don't visit her, and she never visits them. I know that for sure.
But if Liuda is innocent, then who's responsible for Yuri's death?
This feels like a magical influence, yes, but not from that woman. It's something much older, something that's been set in motion long ago.
But what kind of magic is this, and where did it come from?
Do you know what's bothering me? I see you, your husband, and your daughters, but the boy doesn't seem to fit in. I'm sorry. I sincerely apologize. I don't want to offend you, but I sense that he wasn't your son.
What do you mean? Of course he was my son.
I do believe he was your son in spirit, but something tells me he was not born to you.
I'm actually Aunt. I adopted him 5 years ago.
This is incredible. Yuri was not Helena's biological son, but had lived with her family for the last 5 years. Helena and her husband were his legal guardians. Yuri's mother died, and his father abandoned him.
The council summoned me. They said they'd be sending him to an orphanage. I went there with my daughters and I said, I'm not giving him up. No way.
Sometimes I saw him crying and asked, what happened? He answered, I was thinking about my mother. I dreamed of her. He loved Mother.
It was hard for the boy to adjust to his new family, but Helena's love and warmth overcame his grief and fear, and a year after taking him in, she finally heard the word she longed for, Mom.
At first, he called me Helena. Then one day he returned from the camp and said, Mom, yes, Mom, Mommy, Mama.
It's like he's holding one mother with one hand and reaching for the other with the other.
Like he's hugging empty air.
As if she's not there. His mother passed away, didn't she?
Yes, in an accident.
God, it's so terrible.
Yuri's family say his biological mother, Nina, died from severe injuries. She was only 25. She'd been riding a scooter in the rain. The road was slick, and she lost control and fell into a ditch. She fell into a coma and died in the hospital a month later.
You know, I have a bad feeling about her death. Are you sure it was an accident? Because it doesn't feel like it was caused by a crash. It feels like something else.
What did the psychic sense? How did Nina really die? And how is it connected to her son's death?
I see her covered in bruises.
She looks beaten. So many injuries all over her body.
There are bruises on her face, too.
As it turns out, Nina did return home after the accident, but she didn't seek medical help immediately.
She was taken to the hospital the following day. At first to our local ICU and then to the city, where they performed a craniotomy.
I see her husband. Maybe they didn't get along. I see him punching her.
That would be my brother.
His punches weren't powerful, but he still hit her hard, over and over. A blow to the face, to the head, again and again.
Yuri told me they were always fighting.
The family doesn't like to talk about it, but all locals knew that Helena's brother, Sasha, who was 4 years older than his wife, beat her.
He could have beaten her right before she died. I have no doubt about it. He's capable of that.
My God, poor boy.
How old is he now?
35.
But I see him in his 50s.
Yes, because he's destroyed himself.
Yes, he looks older.
Like an old man.
He walks with a cane.
He buried himself spiritually. That is, he still lives and breathes and walks. But he's already a dead man. He did it to himself.
and he's not trying to pull himself out.
When I tried to feel the boy's father's energy, I saw this thick, black, sticky fog. In simple words, he's completely under the spell of the green serpent. Alcohol.
After his wife's death, Sasha, Yuri's biological father, seemed to lose his mind. He was seen drunk nearly every day. It was as if he'd forgotten his son entirely. Ever since his aunt took Yuri, his father never once visited him. Even his relatives avoid the man now.
I don't speak to him at all because of the life he chose. He says we abandoned him, though in reality, we tried to help. But he rejected our help. He drinks and doesn't work.
But the mother died from something else.
I sensed that Yuri's mother's death had something to do with magic. I saw the scooter, the rain falling, and then a puddle freezing like ice. It's like someone blew across it, casting a chill.
She tumbled, rolling. Is the scooter still around?
It's in the garage.
Can we open the garage to take a look at it?
Maybe we'll uncover something else.
Could these two deaths, of the mother and son, be connected? Nina crashed on the scooter, even though she knew how to ride it and had used it for years. Yuri also planned to ride it to visit friends. The psychics head straight to the garage.
This is the scooter.
His first vehicle.
My husband and I bought it.
A woman's spirit brushed past me, but I ignored it. Focused on the scooter. Yuri didn't ride it long. His adoptive mother bought it. I felt into the energy field of the scooter, and I understood. Neither his mother's death nor Yuri's had connection to the vehicle.
In fact, the cause for the mother's death wasn't the crash. But we had no time to investigate back then. We had a task to find out how the boy died.
Later, the psychics would return to investigating Yuri's mother's death. And what they sensed would shock them deeply. It would become the clue that helped unravel the entire knot.
Something's not right. The place where the boy was planning to go, it triggers this feeling of anxiety. Yes, it's just a football field, a place to play, but I feel overwhelming unease, almost as if the boy was afraid of something there. It's not fear exactly, though. I can't describe it.
Do you know where it is?
Yes.
Do you want to go see it? Let's head to the field then.
On the last day of his life, Yuri had plans with classmates to play football, but he never made it.
Look, I gathered some thistle from the field. I feel the boy experienced so many joyful, bright, and happy moments here. To relive the time when Yuri played here with his friends, I needed to perform a ritual. To open an energetic channel and step into that memory. I used incantations and the smoke from the grasses Yuri once walked on. The fire is pure, just like the boy. He was happy here. I feel like I'm drowning and choking. My goodness.
Jana, deep breath. Inhale. Come on, darling. Try to visualize what you're feeling.
Water everywhere. And something pulled me under. Oh God.
Speak it out, Jana. Don't hold back.
I'm choking, I'm drowning, water everywhere. I see sunlight reflections and hands pulling me up. This is precisely what I saw when I worked with the photo. I had a vision of 3 women standing in an open field. Suddenly, one of them struggled to breathe and started gasping. I wanted to see her face, and can you guess who I saw? Myself. That was a warning that I should be cautious in this investigation. Someone didn't want us to find the truth. And then I saw the woman's spirit that had passed me in the garage. She tried to energetically drown me during the vision.
But what is Jana sensing? Water? On a field? How? What does it mean? Could it be connected to Yuri? What might have happened here? And who is this woman trying to kill the clairvoyant?
He didn't drown, though.
No, he was saving someone else.
He once told me there was a boy in trouble and he helped him get out.
On that summer day, Helena's adoptive son was walking by the lake with his friend. He saw a young boy who had swum out too far and was drowning. Yuri jumped into the water to save him and pulled him out of the lake.
Yuri saved another person's destiny. He intervened in fate. That boy was supposed to die.
And in a way, a trade happened. One fate was removed and another was laid on top.
Could it be that Yuri swapped destinies with the drowning boy? Did, by saving a life, he sacrifices his own?
To swap your fate with someone else's, you need to perform very complex and dangerous rituals. And the risk is that you don't know whether the new fate will be better or worse. But most importantly, you simply have no time or power to perform a ritual like that when saving someone.
Exactly. When Yuri saved that boy, no one changed their destiny. We just needed to explore every possibility to find the truth behind his death.
You know, this field feels very strange to me. I don't know why, but it repulses me. You know what I feel? Like I'm digging through the snow like a dog. That's when I sensed the boy had found something significant here, something that foretold his death. I opened myself to the energy of the field, searching. What did he find here that he showed no one? A cross. It's shiny, like glass. No, not glass. Silver.
And he took it with him.
I never saw it, not even at home.
Neither Yuri's mother nor other family members knew anything about the mysterious object, but we found Yuri's friends, and they confirmed it had happened.
He found a cross and chain at the stadium. I think it was a chain like that.
A silver crucifix. It belonged to a man. The man lost it here during a fight.
And Yuri took it.
If you find someone else's cross, it's believed you may start carrying that person's destiny. But I felt that the cross held no negative energy. It was empty and bore no destiny. Most likely it was just a market trinket, not even consecrated. It served a decorative purpose for its owner. But for Yuri, it was a sign. As if someone had put a cross on Yuri's fate. There had been threats around the boy. I see a house and he's alone inside it. And the house is strange. Nobody lives there. He walks there from the field, where he felt peace. He enters. What is that place? Rats, cockroaches, mice, fleas, filth everywhere. Where is it?
That one, over there.
Where? It was like I reached Yuri on the other side. I could feel him guiding me. I didn't resist and just followed the energy. And we came to a house that looked eerie and ominous. This is where the boy felt oddly at home. This is his home. He was born here.
Incredibly, the clairvoyants arrived at the house where Yuri was born and once lived with his parents. Just a week before his death, he and his foster sister Luba had visited this very place.
It was about a week before it happened. He came home from school and I said, let's go pick walnuts. It was fall already, so we went there, to the house where he used to live.
It turns out Yuri's relatives always felt something odd about this house.
It felt like someone was watching from the window. I even asked him, Yuri, is someone in there? Is someone watching us? But he said, no, there's no one.
But could this place truly carry dark energy? And if so, what does it have to do with the boy's mysterious death?
This is a place where he felt hungry and cold, where he endured so much fear.
But it was still home.
I'll never forget when he came home from school and I said, sit down, sweetheart, get your notebook and do your homework. I sat beside him. He made a mistake and I went, oh. It was just an exclamation, but he fell back in fear, thinking I'd hit him. I told him I'd never hit him. That's how he'd been treated before, beaten like a dog. He thought I would strike him too.
Poor child. My God.
He lived like a stray. He never ate well.
Poor boy.
Like a beaten little wolf cub.
Yes.
That's when I remembered the vision I had while working with his photo. I see crosses and graves around. The air is so cold, piercingly cold. It gives me chills. Suddenly, someone leaps out from the bushes. They grab something from a grave and tear it with their teeth. That was Yuri, a hungry, neglected boy. It's hard to even speak about what he endured.
It turns out that when the boy had nothing to eat, he would go to the cemetery to collect bread and candies left on graves as offerings to dead relatives.
It hurts me to recall those days. But yes, he was truly starving and sometimes went to the cemetery just to grab cookies and sweets, anything to eat.
Yuri's death is somehow tied to that period of his life when he still lived with his parents.
They passed out drunk and he was starving. I asked, Yuri, what did you eat? A sandwich. He answered, what kind? Bread and tomato paste. Only at Helena's he felt full for the first time. He didn't even know what real food was. My God.
Yuri died a mysterious death, but in life, he endured so much. Hunger, cold, turmoil. At school, he was treated like an outcast.
Other kids would even say to him, you crawled out of the sewer.
That's when Helena took the boy in. She cared for him and loved him like her own. That's why it's so important for her to know who or what took Yuri away.
What you did was truly heroic. You took this child, you gave him the life he had only dreamed of.
He told me, I feel so happy here.
Do you remember when you were sitting on the couch and he hugged your knees while you sat?
Yes, I do.
And he pressed his face to your knees and cried, Mama, you're my only one.
Yes, he said that.
Not the one who gave birth to me, but you are my mother. You raised me.
He did say that.
Those were his words. He knew what you had done for him.
We all gave him everything we could.
We were standing near the house where Yuri lived with his birth parents. That house had a pull. It was like a magnet for him. And then, I had a vision of a woman, kneeling, reciting some kind of spell. I couldn't make out the words, but it was definitely some kind of magic. It felt like whatever killed Yuri happened in that house.
That vision was terrifying. What could have happened in that house? No one lives there now. Yuri's biological father comes here rarely. He spends most of his time wandering the streets of the neighboring town, begging. And he didn't wish to see Yuri here.
He told him once, if I see you back at that house again, I'll break your legs.
But what does all of this mean? Could Yuri's father know something?
Looking at the family line, I see the grandmother, then a sister, a brother, and a daughter, Yuri's mother. 3 generations from the same root. It's a family curse. That's the root.
And now they're all gone. Yuri was the last.
Through Yuri's maternal line, his entire family has vanished. And every one of those deaths is connected to magic.
How terrifying. Could the death of 13-year-old Yuri truly be the result of a curse? Villagers say nearly every one of his maternal relatives passed under bizarre and unexplained circumstances. The first was Yuri's aunt, Svetlana, his mother's sister. She was only 20.
She, a beautiful girl, she disappeared. And then, about a month later, they found her in the woods.
The exact circumstances of her death remain unknown. But tragedy in Yuri's family didn't stop there. His maternal uncle, Bohdan, also died, broken by alcohol and heartbreak. In his final years, he lived in the same house as Yuri's father, Sasha.
They all died suddenly. Love, drugs, alcohol, and death. And I felt like it all started with Yuri's grandmother. Nina's mother passed as if she'd fallen into the abyss. And from that place, there's a foul energy still lingering. She did something really bad.
There was a construction site nearby and she fell into the trench. Her name was Raisa, Nina's mother.
I see her walking with a scarf in her hands. A headscarf, an old woman, a table, candles, icons, herbs. She sits and mixes something. It's something horrible. I feel repulsed and taste bitterness. She's casting spells, working magic. A love spell for Yuri's grandfather. She thought he was cheating on her with a neighbor.
They used to be happy, but after that spell, she started drinking. And then he did too.
Yuri's grandmother cast a love spell on her husband. And from that moment, her children began to suffer and die. That's why Nina died. That's why she herself died. The magic that was meant to keep Yuri's grandfather from straying turned into a curse of alcoholism, which consumed him and the generations that followed. They all died drinking.
Nobody knows if Yuri's grandmother used magic. Halina says she knew nothing about her daughter-in-law's relatives, and there's no one left to ask, as they all died.
I know nothing about their family.
They were destined to drink.
And they did.
A person meets someone, falls in love, builds a family, makes plans, and then it all ends.
And from that love comes addiction.
But if that's true, did Yuri die because of his grandmother's magic?
In this family, every time someone felt love, it was followed by destruction in the form of alcohol or drugs, which and resulted in death. But Yuri hadn't even found his love yet.
No, he was only 13. He just had friends.
Yuri was just 13. He wasn't thinking about romance, and he definitely wasn't planning a family. So does the curse that stemmed from his grandmother's magic have nothing to do with it? Then what?
This was a blood oath made publicly. They pledged his life. They promised it.
It's terrifying even to imagine. Who could have sworn an oath on a child's life and why?
May God forgive me, Lord forgive me, but people, you must never swear by your children. I see a stool. A man, your brother, sits on it, leaning on the table. And she, like Yuri that day on his knees before you. She's kneeling before him, begging his forgiveness. And she says, I swear. I swear on my child's life to never drink again. How can you swear by your child when you know you won't keep the promise?
She swore on his life that she'd stop drinking.
She made promises she couldn't keep. You must never swear oaths like that.
She kept drinking. Maybe when he hit her, that's when she swore, without thinking, not realizing it was her son. They drank often. And my brother would sometimes come back from work. He had a good job. Because of her manipulation, he would often come to me and say, "Sis, I have nowhere else to go." "But you're in recovery," I'd say. But he said, "What options do I have? I might as well drink too." Maybe that's why he became who he is.
The woman in the field was Yuri's mother. Of course, she didn't want us to find that the boy's death was on her conscience. That's why her spirit wanders the house, restless. Yuri's sisters have seen her there, and her husband avoids the house because he's afraid. But Yuri kept going back. He felt her presence there. She repented, but only after death when it was too late.
No one could have imagined that a mother could bring death upon her son by swearing on his life she would stop drinking.
When making an oath, you must think carefully. Higher powers are always listening, especially when you swear by your child's life. A mother's vow can be as powerful as a ritual performed by a skilled sorcerer. Poor boy. I sense you wanted to join him.
It's true. After he died, I didn't want to live either.
You are a saintly woman. Please be strong, it's not your fault. You gave that boy years of life, do you understand that? You gave him years of happy life.
I'm so grateful. The psychics are amazing. I actually feel better now. It's such a relief because before, I wasn't living. I was merely existing. There were times I really didn't want to live. I'm so grateful to the psychics. They opened my soul. It's true.